Um, Good evening, guys. Hi, guys.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. So, let's just hold on a little bit so that I can have access to share my screen.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So, sorry for the delay. All right. Good evening, everyone. So, just to check, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. So, yeah, welcome to today's live class, which is on DNS 104, which is typography. So yeah, without wasting any time, so let's get right into it. So yeah, I was starting with what is typography. So I said typography is the art of arranging letters and text in a way that makes the copy legible, clear, and visually appealing to the reader. So basically typography is just a way for you to like arrange your text, in order to like make it legible, clear, and balance, appealing to your audience, basically. So it involves font style, appearance, and structure, which aims to elicit certain emotions and convey specific messages. So in short, typography is what brings the text to life. Okay. So why is typography important? So typography is so much more than just choosing beautiful fonts. It's a vital component of user interface design, right? So good typography will establish a strong visual hierarchy, provide a graphic balance to the website, and set the product's overall tone. So typography is a lot. If you don't get your typography right, that can hurt your design in so many ways. So which is why it's very, very vital for you to get your typography right. So let's dive a little bit into why typography is so important. So typography builds brand recognition. So they said not only with good typography enhance the website's personality, but your users will sub subliminally begin to associate the typeface featured on your site with your brand. So basically, there are some brands that once you see like that typography, once you see that text, like you remember, oh, so and so. Like you start to guess, okay, most likely this ad that I'm watching is from so brand. So like that's how powerful typography is. Unique, consistent typography will help you establish a strong user following, build trust with your users, and help to carry your brand forward. Then another reason why typography is important. Said typography influences decision making. So typography has a profound effect on the way that users digest and perceive the information conveyed by text. So eye-catching type is much more persuasive than weak fonts that don't reinforce the message of the text. So I'm sure maybe probably this applies to like kids or so. When you're like choosing like you probably want to like buy these kits, right? So you always look out for the ones that are like stand out. Probably the fonts that they use on the wrapper, right, is kind of like appealing in some kind of way. It's kind of like fun. So you're always like, okay, let me try that one. This one looks somehow. It looks fun. Let me try it. So right. Then another reason why typography is important. Sorry guys. 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. So yeah, another reason why typography is important is typography holds the attention of the reader. So good typography could be the difference between someone staying on your website for 1 minute or half an hour, right? So and we, the part of the reason why you have to like be careful with using fonts is there's this, I don't know, probably this applied to me, yeah, like a lot. So there's this sense of belonging that you feel on the website. Probably like you're on the website and then everything just stay connected. So the moment you start seeing like a different type of font, then you start to question yourself like, okay, what's going on? Am I still on the same website? So like that's why you have to like make use of the same this thing, be consistent with the typography. So to hold attention of the readers, right? So it's important that your website is visually stimulating and memorable, and typography plays a huge role in this process. So just to confirm again, can you guys still hear me? Not properly positioned.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Someone said my screen is not properly positioned. Um, okay.
We are not seeing the typography part of it. The screen is not centered.
Okay. How about now?
No, it's still like that. It's like the taskbar at the other end is
That's
it should be
um.
centered. Yeah.
Wait. Give me a second.
It's actually centered on my end.
Yeah, it's it's centered.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe you should try adjusting it from on your own screen. Okay, I
Right.
just did.
But
Right. Okay,
yeah,
fine.
don't worry, I'll still share the resources. So the material, I'll share it. So moving on. So then we talk about fonts and typeface. So there is some confusion surrounding the difference between typeface and fonts. So with many treating the two as synonymous. So a typeface is a design style that comprises a myriad of characters of different sizes and weights, whereas a font is a graphical representation of a text character. So to just like put simply, right? So a typeface is a family of related fonts, while fonts refer to the weight, width, and style that constitutes a typeface. So for example, if you look at this image here, so a typeface, yeah. So an example is a vertical, right? So then the font is the members of this very, very typeface. So this is a vertical. So a part of the font is a vertical regular. So another font is a vertical oblique, right? So another font is a vertical light. So like I hope you guys understand. So like that, yeah. So another font is a vertical bold. So um so there are three basic kind of typeface. So we have serif, sans serif, and decorative. So the serif is the ones that always have decoration at the edges, right? So if you look at these image here, you will see that blue part. So this is serif. So a good example is your newspaper headings. There's always this way that they used to write it, with decorations. So but yeah, let's continue. So serif, as the visual example above demonstrates. So serif typeface are identical by the extra marks at the end of the letter. So the blue parts, right? So that's serif. You don't understand the typeface. Don't worry, there will be a question and answer session after the lecture. So yeah, don't worry. Then so that's for serif, right? So the addition of these small strokes and elements give serif fonts an air of tradition, history, authority, and integrity. So it's no surprise that you see this classic style used for newspaper titles. So yeah, like I said, that newspaper, there's this way that newspaper titles are always are. You see that font, they will write it somehow. So that's serif. Then for example, or font used in books. So yeah, they use it in some books too. So sans serif, just like the name suggests, sans serif typeface are defined by what they lack. So without the serif, more traditional stroke and dashes. So the sans serif font family is seen as much more modern and bold. So as a result, it's clear to read and when used in headline, grabs your attention more than serifs. Okay. So popular sans serif fonts include a vertical and area. So the default fonts when you start writing in Google Doc, right? So, but like when you're dealing with something more serious, right? So something that you don't probably know a situation where you don't want the users to like confuse anything at all. So you don't want people like confusing, probably like 50,000 naira with 500,000 naira. Like, the difference is too much, right? So like you want to use something that is very, very clear. So you use sans serif. So, which is why it's, popular with documents. So they use sans serif. Then we are dealing with something that has to do with like, fintech, something with money, right? So use sans serif, something that is very, very clear so that people don't make mistake. You don't want to like, go ahead and transfer, like probably want to transfer 20K to someone, then you wrote 200K and you are thinking it's 20K. So that's serious. So then the third one is decorative. So again, given away by its name, the function of this typeface is aesthetic more than readable. So as a result, you are far more likely to see this used in brand names, logo, and short titles. So yeah, decoratives are, you see them all around. So probably on your biscuits, they write it. There's this way they just, arrange the fonts somehow, the text somehow that, just catches your eye. So But although you can't use that for an entire document, right? Because that would be very, very difficult to read. But yeah, each and every one of those things have their own place. So we said walk around your local grocery or toy store and you see decorative fonts jumping out at you from every shelf. So just imagine trying to read an entire article written in them. So that would be difficult. So then best UI practice for using fonts, right? So to keep the interface uncluttered and streamlined. So a good designer will never use more than 3 fonts. In fact, 3 fonts is even excessive to some people. So just like two is more than enough, you know. But yeah, there are some cases that people tend to like designers tend to like use 3 fonts. So, but please don't go more than 3 fonts first. Don't go more than 3 fonts. So moving on. So yeah, they said a good designer will never use more than 3 fonts. So and keep decorative fonts to a minimum. Yeah, decorative fonts is not something you want to like use, like frequently. Most UI designers will pair serif fonts with sans serif fonts, such as putting main body text in a serif font and putting your title in a sans serif font. So, serif fonts, the one with, the decorative edges, right? Sans serif fonts, the one without decoration. So, then, so one of the best UI practice, right? So is contrast. So much like hierarchy, contrast helps to convey which ideas or messages you want to emphasize to your readers. So spending some time on contrast makes your text interesting, meaningful, and attention grabbing. So like contrast is important when dealing with typography. So most designers create contrast by playing around with varying typeface, colors, styles, and sizes to create impact and break up the page. Although there are some ways that you can follow to like get the right typeface, but at the end of the day, you still have to like test, because that's the way to like find out the real this thing for your product. So we need to like test. But yeah, we'll get it as we progress. So yeah, this is contrasting types. So if you look at the image I have here, so depicting why contrast is important, right? So contrasting type, contrast, different type of contrast. So then another reason is consistency. So keeping your typeface consistent is key to avoiding a confusing and messy interface. So imagine like I said earlier, right? So you're on a website and then there's this font that you've been using, right? And then suddenly that font just changes to something else. Cool. Like you'll be like, okay, what's going on? Like, am I still on the same website or where am I? So you want to like keep your um uh fonts consistent. Keeping your typeface consistent. So then when conveying information, it's essential to stick to the same font style so your readers instantly understand what they are reading and begin to notice a pattern. So then another point is white space. So often referred to as negative space. So that's another name for white space. So you can call it negative space too. So white space is the space around text or graphics. So like all this space here, all this empty space, these are white space. These are white space. So okay, so yeah, white space is space around text or graphics. So it's often overlooked and tend to go unnoticed by the user. But proper use of white space ensures the interface is uncluttered and the text is readable. So white space can even draw attention to the text and provide an aesthetically pleasing experience. So imagine all these massive typographic websites, that those websites that once you like, jump on it, like you see like a massive typography, probably like a text or like 2 texts, it will be like huge, and then there will be like nothing else. So like that immediately calls your attention. Like there's no way you miss it. You have to read it. So and that's a very good way of making use of white space too. So white space can even draw attention to the text and provide an significantly pleasing experience. So white space often takes the form of margin, padding, or just area with no text or graphics. So yeah. So if you look at the image here, so these are white space, all this empty space. That's white space. Then in between text too. white space. Then another point is alignment. So alignment is the process of unifying and composing text, graphics, and images to ensure equal space, size, and distance between each element. So that's another important area, right? So alignment, you have to like get your alignment right, because nobody wants a design that's the design doesn't match each other. The alignment is just off. Like you'll be like, oh, is this person just starting design, or like what's going on? So that you have to like be very, very careful of alignments too. So many UI designers create margins to ensure that their logo header and body of the text are aligned with each other. So that's a very good way of managing alignments and even white space too. So by creating what's it called, margins. So then when aligning your user interface, it's good practice to pay attention to industry standards. So for example, aligning your text to the right will seem counterintuitive for readers who read left to right. So yeah, you have to like stick to industry standards too, because it's not everybody that read from left to right. So there are countries that uses right to left. Take for example Arabic. So like Arabic is from right to left. The right from right to left, not left to right. So you have to like keep all those things in mind. So then another point is color. So color is very important. So color is one of the most exciting elements of typography. So this is where designers can really get creative and elevate the interface to a new level. So text color, however, is not to be taken lightly. So mainly your font color can make the text stand out and convey the tone of the message. So, but getting it wrong can result in a messy interface and text that clashes with the site color. So yeah, you have to like get your colors right too, because you can really do a lot of uh good with managing your colors. So probably even for with typography, can just like imagine this one now. So this heading here is bold, right? And this one is they're not bold. So like you can easily pick out this one apart from this. So that's another good way of making use of colors in typography. So then hierarchy. So establishing a hierarchy is one of the most vital principles of typography. Okay. Can you mute your mic, Ebube? Um, uh, so yeah, typography and typographical hierarchy aims to distinguish between prominent pieces of copy that should be noticed and read first, and standard text copy. So yeah, a good example is the text that we are looking at. So like you want to like read the heading first before you read the body, right? So which is why this is in bold, and then this one are not bold. So yeah, in an age of short attention span brought about by social media. So of course, people have short attention span online, nowadays. So then designers are urged to be concise and create typeface that allow users to consume the necessary information in short amount of time. Because yeah, we really have, that's like a very short amount of time to grab the attention of the user. So like you have to make best use of it. So yeah, this if you look at the image here, so yeah, this is the primary heading. Then this second one is the secondary heading. Then there's another heading which is the tertiary heading. Then the smaller ones are the body text. So yeah, don't worry, I will share the material with you guys so you guys can be able to like go through everything on your own. So how do you choose the right typeface for websites? So yeah, there are a couple of ways that you can try out just to like get your typeface right. So you think about personality. So how do you want your users to feel when they first enter your website? So do you want them to like, emulate a friendly atmosphere? So depending on how you want your users to feel, so you can go off like from that point of view. So do you want the site to feel high-end, welcoming, playful, or serious? So like depending on those things, those things can shape, the type of typeface you go for a design. So then Another one is don't skimp off on function. So function is just as vital as form. So there's nothing worse than a website that looks pretty or is entirely illegible, so leading you to click the wrong button or take a wrong turn because the instructions were unclear. So yeah, nobody wants that, right? Then if your like the website is visually pleasing, and then the typography is just illegible, everything is just off, like too tiny, you cannot read it, everything is just off. So nobody wants that. So nobody wants to use those kind of products. So then another thing is consider performance. So one thing that many designers often overlook is choosing typeface that are web browser friendly. So like that's another very, very important thing for you to consider. So choose a typeface that is web browser friendly. So commonly used fonts libraries such as Google Fonts offer web-based font files that can be rendered perfectly in a browser without any issues. So then yeah, pro tip, when downloading web fonts, never download more character sets than you need to. So yeah, this way you avoid excess weight. So that's another thing. So don't, if you know, okay, probably you're not going to use more than like bold, what's it called? Your bold font. So don't go more than bold font. Don't go and ahead and download extra bold and all those ones. Because at the end of the day, you don't need it. And then it will be weighing down your decision making. So then yeah. So ways that you can get inspired. So if you are not sure where to start, take some time to see what other people are doing. So that's another a very good way to go about choosing the type of typography that you want to use for your design. So like look at what other people are doing. So probably you are designing something on let's say mental health. So look at other products, other mental health products. Look at what people are doing. So you can just like do a Google search, a quick Google search. So see what other designers are using. We look at what's popular in that field, right? So then they said, so take your time to see what other people are doing. So open your eyes to typography that you see around you. So can you notice similar pattern? So can you see good and bad example of typography? So even following typography hashtags on social media. Yeah, that's another thing too. You can like go on social media and search for popular typography hashtags and see what designers are posting on it. So or looking up typography on Pinterest. So that's another good place to see what people are doing. So you can just make a search on Pinterest. So we'll give you some good ideas of what's out there. So yeah. Then take some time to test. So the best way to decipher which fonts to use for your interface is to test, test, and test. So by gathering useful feedback from real users, so you get a clearer insight into what works, right? So what doesn't, what is legible, and what feels counterintuitive or clunky. So yeah, that's the end of the material. So um, any questions, guys? If you have questions, you can go ahead and ask. Okay, Kafi, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Kafi, you're raising your hand.
Okay, good evening. Thank you so much for the class. So my
Yeah, good
question
evening.
is not really related to what we really discussed here, but it's about the last assignment. The tutor explained that we should try and use this plugin that is called Stack plugin. So it can help us to analyze our contrast while designing. So I just want you to please show us how to install that plugin. Thank you.
Tack,
Yes,
tack. What do you call it again?
Stack plugin, STARK.
Okay, okay. Okay, okay, so probably I'll do a recording and share it on the Slack channel.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. All right. So okay, Lawa, go ahead. Lawa. Is Lawa there? Lawa, you're raising your hand. Okay. Oh, okay. So Sam, yeah, and go ahead.
Okay, hi, good evening.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you
evening.
for the time for the teaching. Actually, I want to ask a question to clarify if there is a difference or like differences between typeface and the terms of typeface and typography. I don't know if they are two different terms or they mean the same thing because from the resources we used for your assignment, the instructor there gave only two types of explains typography as having two types. While from this lecture that we took this evening, you explained
Yes,
typefaces as three types,
three
which
times.
which
Okay.
involves sans serif, and decorative.
Decorative. Okay.
While for the typography, well, exact types that I got from the resources, they were just that was a sans serif and serif. So I want to know whether there are differences between the two of those
Okay.
terms.
So basically, we are talking about typography and typeface, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Are they different or are they the same? From
Okay.
the
So
three types that, yeah. Okay.
okay. So basically, like it's there's what's it called? Like, you know, like little differences here and there from the point of depending on the material that you guys are using. But in the end, so some people like group everything to two. Some people like took you know another thing out of the two and group it into three. So which is the material that I'm using here. So here they are using three, and then resources that you guys used earlier. So the person said two. So it's still the same thing too. So but most likely the material that you guys saw previously. So the person said serif and sans serif, right? So basically sans serif is the ones without decoration, and serif is the one with decoration,
Yeah,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Mm. So yeah, it's still the same thing in a way. So basically
Okay.
what they just did different here is just try like and divide the serif further. So they just brought the decoration out. Okay. So some of it are just the edges, decoration on the edges. And some of it is just the writing is just entirely different. The way they write their F is just entirely different, like completely different from the serif and sans serif. Because if you notice, the major difference between serif and sans serif is just the edges, that curved edges or like decorative edges.
Yes, yes, different.
And so, but for decorative this thing now, font typeface now, so like the way it's written is like completely different. So they just write it like in a font way. You must have been seeing some fonts like that, that they
Okay.
don't follow how serif
Should I
and
say
sans serif.
is it like the kind of freestyle format?
Yeah, kind of like freestyle. So what you just did is so divided serif further. So but it's still the same thing. You can still group it into serif and sans serif if you want them, or if you want to like divide it further, you can group it into three. So it's still basically the same thing. I don't know if
So
you've
I also have another question, please.
okay.
Yeah, so from the resource as well, we
All
were
right.
told that there were like some default fonts for some devices. Like for iPhone now, we have San Francisco and New York, and for Android we have Noto and is it Roboto? Yeah. So and I just wanted to ask, I think the same thing is also applicable to every other device or devices. So I just want to know if
Yeah.
can we can we can we break these rules and probably try that font and see if those other fonts can stand in place of these default fonts for products that we're to design. I just want to know if these rules are meant to be followed. I mean, rules are meant to be broken. I'm sorry, but I think they actually sometimes keeping following that font style or just default font can be a little bit it can limit creativity of the product designer. Or I don't know what you think, but I just
Yeah.
want to know
Okay. Okay, no problem. So
if it's possible to go out of this frame.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So I understand your question. So yeah, obviously yes, like that's obvious. So majorly the reason why they show you guys what they are using, what's it called, Apple and Androids are using. It's also like let you know that every industry, like or like brand, or let's say products, have like their default typography, what they use defaultly, so that it's not entirely different. By the time you see another product and it's still like in the line of the previous one, it's not like looking like a completely new device, right? So of course, depending on what product that you're working on, so you have to like use a typography that goes in line with that line of products. So that one is just just letting you know. So like probably you are working on a fintech products, then you have to like use what's it called, a font that goes typography that goes with fintech. So if you're working on what's it called, telemedicine, then you have to like do research on telemedicine. So yeah, you can it's not like a rule, so you can break it. Sam, does that answer your question?
So you agree that we can break these rules, yeah?
So I won't say it's a rule. I won't say it's a rule. It's just there for like to let you know what those guys are doing, right? So, but depending on what product that you're working on is what's it called, typography that you go for.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any more questions, guys? Questions, guys? Questions? So yeah, you guys can go through the materials at your own leisure time. So once I share it, so I'll probably attach some other what's it called, articles to it too. So okay, Emmanuel, you're raising your hand.
Okay, sir. I was asking, and I was logged out because of network. But I was asking if you can explain the typeface and font again.
Okay.
I asked it earlier, but you didn't answer.
Okay. All right, no problem. Okay, yeah, font and typeface, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basically, so a typeface is a family of related fonts. So white fonts refer to the weights, widths, and styles that constitutes a typeface. So like let's say, okay, what's a very popular, okay, Times New Roman now is very popular for documents, right? So like Times New Roman itself is a typeface, right? So then the font is Times New Roman regular. So right. Then probably Times New Roman semi bold, Times New Roman bold. So those are fonts. So as the weight increases, right? So that's the font on itself. So the regular, that's one font, because if you look at the example here too, so a vertical, right? A vertical regular, that's a font, you know. A vertical oblique, that's a font. A vertical light, that's a font. A vertical bold, that's a font. But the general name for it, so that's the typeface.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I understand you.
Yes, welcome. The true the first time it's there's five question when you that debates. Okay, mom, so I hope I'm not murdering your name. So yeah, you can ask the question on the Slack channel. So yeah, and tag the person in charge. Yeah, Andrew. Okay, yeah, yes. You're raising your hand. Okay. Or is that the question I want to ask in the chat? Yeah, you can unmute your mic. Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah. It's the same. So yeah, entire family of fonts. So, Emmanuel, you're still raising your hand. Yeah, you're welcome. Awesome. Emmanuel, do you still have a question?
No, sir, I don't have any question. Let me lower my.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So yeah, questions. If you have questions, guys. So that's basically it. So yeah, I'll be dropping the material on the group immediately after the class. Okay, guys. So if there's no more question, then yeah, that will be it for today's class. So yeah, thank you guys for attending.
Sorry. Can I just ask something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it possible for us to know, like, I think there will be a class tomorrow to write on typography
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Okay,
So
I might be engaged around that time, so I just want to know if the topic for discussion or for lecture is revolves around what we've done today again, or it's a new thing that we have to be taught tomorrow, so that I will know how I can manage my time to know just to know what is in store tomorrow for tomorrow, sir. That's what I'm asking.
okay, yeah. So it's still the same thing. So probably I would ask to cancel to tomorrow's class because yeah, it's still basically the same thing.
Okay,
So
okay,
I don't think there should be any need for it.
all right.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, guys, if there's no more question, then yeah, that'll be it for today's class. Thank you guys for coming. Yeah, bye guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Welcome. Yeah, thanks, Emmanuel.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah. Mhm.